Hi, ladies. Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's live training about how to transform boundaries for a healthier you. So I'm so excited to talk about this stuff today. This has been a really big topic in my private client group lately, and I wanted to come in and bring this to you guys here in the free group, and I'm so excited to share it with you. So we're going to cover a lot in the next 30 minutes. I'm going to be sharing some mindset shifts that you can take immediately in your own life, and you definitely don't want to miss this. So if you're watching the replay, comment replay in the comments below, because I really want to know if you're watching it later. Ladies, make sure to participate in this, to give some hearts if you're excited. Pop your questions below, and or if you can even relate to some of the things we're going to talk about today, go ahead, share that in the comments too, because the more we can grow together and empower each other, the better. So, and for those of you, if it is your first time here, my name is Amy Mathers. I help busy women restore their metabolism, conquer destructive habits, and achieve their weight loss goals, all without the use of restrictive fad diets. So if that is what you're looking for, you are in the right place. In the right place. So this is what we're going to cover today. We are going to talk about taking ownership over our health, how practicing self-discipline to protect and monitor our health is the secret to succeeding. It's the secret to success. And then how boundaries can make our lives way less stressful and way more enjoyable, so that we actually get to enjoy our life and get those good results, all without feeling stressed and feeling overwhelmed. So if you find it hard to put yourself first, this is a great video for you. Okay. If your spouse comes first, or your friends or your job all come before taking care of yourself, this is for you. Okay. If you have a hard time saying no, if you have a hard time saying no because you're afraid of disappointing someone else, leaving you feeling stressed and no closer to your end goal, this is for you. This is also for you if you have a hard time mastering self-discipline, or if you have no willpower. All right, so we're going to talk about all of those things today and how applying boundaries in your life can help you get over some of those things. Okay, so ladies, turn off notifications, get in a quiet space, no distractions. All right, because this is really going to be some good stuff you can use like outside of health and weight loss. So this topic can be used in any relationship that you're in, using it at your job, using it at home, even like mom-daughter relationships, or with your siblings or mother-in-law or anyone like in your family, your neighbor. It can be used anywhere. So take notes, grab your pen, grab your paper, grab your coffee, grab your tea, get in a quiet space, and we're going to get started. The reason I wanted to talk about boundaries is because it is something that's like near and dear to my heart, only because I had to learn how to put boundaries in my life. I had to learn how to stop going with the flow to make things happen. So a couple of years ago, I started my own gym with my husband. So that some of you don't know this, my husband owns a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym, and we're like next door to each other. And so not only do we have these two businesses that we're trying to make thrive, we have 4 children, 2 of those which were born in that same time frame. Okay, so life was like insane for us. It's still insane, but we've just learned how to manage it, and that's due to boundaries. And so on top of all of this chaos in my life, I'm also trying to lose baby weight after 2 pregnancies. When I'm a little older, my other 2 were way when I was younger and way easier to get the weight off. But I had to do some things mentally for myself, or I was going to go insane, because I was just kind of going through each day trying to do all of these things. And I would just feel so tired, so stressed. I killed my metabolism. We've talked about that before. Today, we're really going to talk about the mental side of it. And I really had to set boundaries in my life and look at where I can say no, where I need to have strict structure and not cross that, not go out of the structure. Because once I did that, I just created more stress and more chaos, which kept me from hitting my goals. So you can do all the nutrition, all the workouts, but if you aren't tackling things like stress in your life, it's going to hold you back. And so boundaries are a great place to start. And so that's what I started doing, was focusing not only on my work, but on my health, setting boundaries for my health goals, setting boundaries in myself. So to create self-discipline, I had to put boundaries in my relationships with my husband, with my family, because I needed to put them first over my job. I'm a workaholic. I admit it. I just kind of get into what I'm doing and I lose focus. So I had to stop doing that. And that's something that I have to do daily to make sure that I'm focusing on it. And I have these like structured things that I've put in my life to help me do so. I want to tell you about one of our clients. Her name is, I'm not going to share her real name because she probably won't like that. But we're going to call her Sarah. And Sarah is in the service industry, just like myself. We have customers that we serve, that we help. And she does hers by appointments. And she would just schedule people in on their days off or on her day off. When she would be done for the day, like should be done by 5. She'd like schedule someone in because they're like, hey, can't you just squeeze me in? Can't you just get me in? I really need to get in. And she would just feel bad and she'd do it. But then all it did was make her day more stressful because she had squeezed someone into already a jam-packed day, or she had to go into work on her day off when she maybe had plans with her spouse or her friends, and she didn't get time for herself. And we were talking about this one day and how she was like trying to say no. And I was like, you really just have to say no. You don't owe them an explanation. And their feelings, how they feel about it, is not your responsibility. It's their responsibility. So if they're upset about it, that's on them, because you come first and you have to take care of yourself and your feelings and your emotional well-being and your mental health and your physical health. It's all on you. So it's not her fault you said yes. It's your fault for saying yes. So this is where you have to say no. If you don't want to do it, if you don't have the time to do it, don't do it. You get to make that choice. And you also don't have to have an explanation. Just own it. It's yours, right? Own it. So when it comes to creating a healthy lifestyle, tackling the mindset should be the first step. But it's often the most forgotten thing. Most people jump into new programs, new diets, new workout plans, and they never focus on the destructive habits or the destructive mindset that got them there in the first place. And one of those issues is not having healthy boundaries to protect yourself, to keep you consistent, to keep you motivated, to keep you focused on your goals. Okay? So the first step in creating healthy boundaries is to draw your personal boundary line. All right? This is where you end and where others begin. It's your space that solely relies on you. So if you look here, I've already drawn out the boundary line here. All right, so this is our boundary line. This is you. These are other people, your friends, your family, your spouse, coworkers, your boss. Okay? You own this space. They own this space. Okay? So this is your boundary line. And you can have more than one line, right? You can have boundary lines in your marriage. You can have boundary lines with your children. You can have boundary lines with yourself for your health. You can have boundary lines with your boss or your coworkers. So it's not just one, but you have a line and you draw it. Okay? I'm drawing the line in the sand pretty much. Okay? So I just finished doing a Bible study, and I'm not going to talk about faith or anything, but it was on boundaries. And while I was going through the study, so much of it resonated with me because I was like, we can apply so much of this just in health and fitness, like so much, like every topic. I was like, oh my gosh, like I could use that, or we already do that in our coaching program. And it was just really cool. So in the book, the author made a really great point though, in regards to the boundary line in our lives. Okay, so she says that the boundary lines are built from conclusions, beliefs, opinions, attitudes, past experiences, and social learning. All of those things define where we begin and where someone else ends. Okay? Clear and present understanding of who and what belongs to whom, what's yours is yours, and what's mine is mine. Does that make sense? So everything in this space is yours. You're responsible for it. You have ownership over it. Nothing. Your spouse does not control this. Your boss does not control this space. Your kids do not control this space. Your coworkers, your mom, your dad, anyone, all you. Okay? So it's key to keep in mind that the lines work both ways. Okay? You allow what crosses the line, and you allow when you cross the line. So when it comes to weight loss, it's your weight loss journey. It's your physical and mental health. No one else can make you gain weight. No one else can have control over your actions. No one. You allow what crosses the line and when you cross the line. Okay? That's all on you. No one else can make you do it. So why is this important to recognize? Why is this important to know? So I talk with women all the time, every day, and I talk with a lot of people about like, why they're struggling. What's going on? Why can't you be consistent? Where are the issues? Like what's lacking that we need to focus on? And so often do I hear blame, like I'm going to get real. I'm going to get real with you because this is what a coach does. We get real. We get honest. We get to the core. Blame on others. Tell me if this sounds familiar to you. I'm trying to cut out soda or sugar, but then my husband comes home with cookies. Or I'm trying to cook all my meals at home and eat healthy, but then my boyfriend wants to go out and eat pizza. Or I try to cook healthy meals at home, but my kids, my family, they don't want to eat the same thing as me. So then I have to make 2 different meals. How often do you hear that? How often do you say that? Or something similar? When you do that, you are letting, one, they're tempting you. So they're trying to cross your line, right? But then you're letting them. You're letting the boundary down. If you're going out to eat pizza and it's not cheat day, or you don't have that planned right now because you have a goal you're trying to hit, and then you go, well, I guess I'm going to go, whatever. You crossed the line. You crossed it. He didn't cross it. You crossed it. So it's all about setting the line, but keeping it. And don't get me wrong, it's okay to go out and have pizza. But what I'm saying is if you have something, a priority that's in mind, and you have set goals, like you have set this in stone, like I am going to do this and I'm only going to go have pizza once a week, and it's not pizza night, you have to make that decision. Am I going to stand strong in my boundary, or am I going to let my boundary down? Okay. So when you're asked to go out to eat and it's not time, we're going to stand strong. Your weight loss is your responsibility. You have full ownership. Okay. It's not your husband's. It's not your kids. It's not your boyfriends or your girlfriends. But your goals are yours. Your self-care. And we can get like really technical. Your sleep, unless you have a newborn at home, like for real. But once we get past that, it's time to focus. Time to set some boundaries on that. Goals, your sleep, your food intake. That's your responsibility. It's not no one else's. Your workouts. Okay, your schedule. Your schedule is your responsibility. Those all fall here. No one else's. It's not your husband's. It's not your best friend's. It's not your boss's. It's yours and yours alone. And I'm not saying you can't have help. You can't have help with these things. Like you can have support, you can have accountability, but for change to take place, you must take ownership over these things, over your goals, over your mistakes, over your lessons. And then you get to take ownership over your success. In my Rise Up program and in the studio, I tell my clients, I can give you all the tools for success. But to get results, you have to pick up the tools and you have to use them in your life. I can lead you to the water, but I'm not going to dunk your head in it and make you drink it. You have to drink the water. If you go through a whole program and you, excuse the language, but you half-ass it, then that's the kind of results you're going to get. Don't come to your coach and say, I don't know what happened. I just, I'm so mad I didn't get results. Well, if you give 100%, you get 100%. And you can feel confident in that. Okay? You can feel confident in that. Boundaries help you gain that confidence. They help you trust yourself. And we're going to talk about that. Boundaries also make your life less stressful. They make it way more enjoyable because you're not allowing outside influencers to veer you off the path or to make you cross the line. So you're always going to have some outside temptations when it comes to your health and weight loss, but you're in control of it. And when you start taking ownership over your weight loss journey, your life becomes less stressful because it becomes more predictable. Your loved ones are going to begin to respect your boundaries and respect what you're doing in your life. And you will begin to enjoy your life more and enjoy the results because you put in all the hard work and you get to own it. And that's where they also enforce your, or it's where it also boosts your confidence, because it's going to boost your confidence in your abilities to care and protect yourself. So many women will not start a program because they have fear, not fear of the program, but fear of themselves. And they lack confidence in themselves to actually follow through because they have done that so many times in the past where they haven't followed through. They haven't started, or they get going and then they give up. Okay. But we typically fail because we don't tackle mindset issues. It's not because you failed in the past. But when we don't tackle those issues, you're just going to keep repeating them over and over again. So when we start with the mindset first, when we set boundaries, when we stand strong in them, we can build trust and we can build confidence in ourselves. Okay. So earlier I mentioned that the lines work both ways, right? So you're in control of what you allow to cross, and you're also in control of when you cross the boundary line, right? So self-discipline is your responsibility. And self-discipline is what protects you for caring for your body and your health. It's your responsibility. Self-discipline is key for success. It is key to weight loss success, to health, because you have to imply self-discipline into every action that you do. You have to control yourself. You have to have willpower. Eating healthy, nutritious foods, getting a good night's sleep, getting in physical activity, creating healthy habits, etc. All of those are a part of having self-discipline. So if you're allowing your schedule to be overrun and you're not eating enough each day and you're going to bed really late, or you're sitting on your couch every evening watching Netflix, or even all day long, that's a thing now. Then I suggest take a step back, re-examine your goals, re-examine your priorities, and start setting boundaries. Start setting boundaries in place for yourself. So, yeah, we have to set boundaries so no one else crosses the line, but we have to set boundaries for ourselves to have self-discipline, to have willpower so that we don't cross the line. Let's type that in. type that in. We're going to write it in. So up here, you have to have, let's just write willpower. You have to have willpower to keep you on your side of the line. And that takes self-discipline. Self-discipline takes practice. It takes motivation. It takes accountability. And it is hard. It is hard to master. It is hard to master on your own. But first, the first thing you have to do is take ownership of it. Identify the physical and mental boundaries that can help protect your health, help you get your weight loss, those priorities. And then once you have an idea of what those are, then you can get help. Then you can get guidance or coaching to give you the tools for success, because then you kind of know how to prioritize them. Or you can go to your coach and say, hey, these are the things I want to work on. What can I do? What actions can I take in place? I know this is mine now, and I'm ready to take it on and make it happen. And I just need your help to guide me along the way. That's a coach's job. That's what, we always joke in the coaching world that everyone's like, I just need my friend to go to the gym with me. It's like, no, you don't, because your friend's the worst accountability partner, because you'll kind of just play off each other. But our job is to make it happen for you. Or any coach, that's their main priority, whether they're a life coach or a health coach or a fitness coach or a leader in your job. That should be, and that's their position, is to help you succeed. But you have to take ownership over it. Because again, that person, that mentor, that coach, that leader, it's only their job to give you the tools. You have to make it happen.